لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
With you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. I pray you are well, inshallah. You are listening to What We Said with me, your host Ali Suleman. Today I'll be bringing you great topics and sick tracks as always. And we are back after quite a long while, around a month. And it is a monthly show now, but alhamdulillah, it feels really great to be back in the hot seat. This is Salam Radio 106.2 FM. And as always, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Twitch, as well as online at salamradio.co.uk. We are always on air with you 24/7, 365, uniting communities. As usual, with all of our shows, including today's, you can get involved via text. Send your comments to 07411 191062. You can also give us a call and come through to the studio on 01733 602 133. And of course, if you are watching us live, please do send us a message through the live stream comments. What have we got for you for today's show, I hear you ask? Well, it should be a really interesting one, inshallah. Today, I am joined by one of my closest friends, Noman Akhtar, to discuss how our first month was at school, the transition from holidays, tips to stay organised, and how to keep a check on your and your friends' well-being. Assalamu alaikum, Noman.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good.
Alhamdulillah, the weather's all right outside. We've had to put the AC on in here, but alhamdulillah, it's getting close to winter now as well.
Yeah,
It's already October. It's gone so quickly. Half term's around the corner as well. But yeah, listeners, not only that, but an Islamic quiz question will be asked later on in the show. So please do get your typing fingers ready. Then, at the end of the show, as always, I'll finish with a beautiful Islamic reminder. But before all that, how about a track from Khalid Sadiq? This is Rise and Fall.
Sometimes in life you feel the fight is over, and it feels as though your faith is gonna fall. Yeah, Habibi, keep on praying. Your heart was made to keep on swaying. It's what they call the rise and fall. Sometimes in life you feel the fight is over, and it feels as though your faith is gonna fall. Yeah, Habibi, keep on praying. Your heart was made to keep on swaying. It's what they call the rise and fall. I used to never thought I'd meet my maker, but now he's with me everywhere I go. I used to roll around with troublemakers, leave my mother crying when I'd leave the home. She told me, son, I think you're losing your way. The road you're going down, this isn't right. Cause some people you find can take over your life. My soul was searching for something with purpose. My eyes were blinded from the light. My heart was cold and it was getting colder each day and night. Ya Allah, where am I going wrong? Cause deep down it's like life just isn't me. I'm beginning to lose my integrity. Sometimes in life you feel the fight is over, and it feels as though your faith is gonna fall. Yeah, baby, keep on praying. Your heart was made to keep on swaying. It's what they call the rise and fall. I used to tell myself that I was crazy. I thought that I was about to lose my mind. Cause I've been looking at this world lately through different eyes. Is there really out there nothing more? Cause in my heart this don't seem right to me. Please show me the way out of darkness to light. Cause some days I feel my heart is beating, then other times I don't feel a thing. But tell me how you're supposed to feel the beauty without no pain. This life's a test, inshallah we'll make it. Just know that from this life we will depart. I'm begging Allah for you to please clean my heart. Sometimes in life you feel the fight is over, and it feels as though your faith is gonna fall. Yeah, baby, keep on praying. Your heart was made to keep on swaying. It's what they call the rise and fall. Sometimes in life you feel the fight is over, and it feels as though your faith is gonna fall. Yeah, baby, keep on praying. Your heart was made to keep on swaying. It's what keeps swaying. The rise and fall.
يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. O turner of hearts, make my heart firm upon your religion. Ameen.
That was Rise and Fall by Khalid Sadiq, a really great track for me. I've played that multiple times because I just really like how it is. And a fun fact as well, which I've probably said before, everything you hear in that track is vocals, beatboxing. There's absolutely no instruments played. So before we get into our topic, we heard a few chats in, just 2 smiling emojis from one of me and Noman's friends, JV and Thanan. Thanks for watching as always. And here's a quiz question for this week. Which surah contains Ayatul Kursi? So we've got multiple choices here, so please do get in touch. So we got A, Surah Ar-Rahman, B, Surah Baqarah, C, Surah Fatir, or D, Surah Yasin. I'll say that one more time. Which surah contains Ayatul Kursi? Is it A, Surah Ar-Rahman, B, Surah Baqarah, C, Surah Fatir, or D, Surah Yasin? Don't forget that you can call, text, or comment in with your answer, and I'll be sure to say it out loud on the show. So, moving on to our main topic for today. School transitions and the long summer break that was only a month ago that ended. So Noman and I started school, it was around a month ago. It's actually a month and a week now on Monday.
Yeah.
And so we thought that it would be apt to talk about our struggles and triumphs, and also discussing how some of our friends found it, as well as some other topics. So Noman, May 28th was when we broke up for school. It was the end of our GCSEs. Really hectic year for GCSEs as well, with coronavirus. The GCSEs being cancelled, but then we ended up having to do more exams anyway. It was a tough time, as I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, it was like all over the place.
But alhamdulillah, we had a long holiday. It was May 28th to September the 7th or 9th. I'm not sure when we started. But so what did you mostly do during the holidays?
Honestly, it was like I didn't have any work that I had to do for September, because it was the transition from GCSEs to A-levels.
Yeah.
So I was just spending time with my family, going out with friends, and just having a good time.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And that's what I remember when we were doing year 10 and 11. We were looking forward to having, because normally when we go from year 10 to 11, when you're going from year to year, from year 7 to 11, you have work to do during the holidays, shorter holidays as well. But from GCSEs to A-levels, alhamdulillah, we were just chilling, to be honest, which was quite cool. So today we're going to talk a little bit about well-being, because when you come back to school, firstly, a lot of people say there's a lot of pressure on youth these days, but we got a few tips on how to keep your well-being high, and also a few schoolwork tips. So I'll get started on the well-being tips. So firstly, eat healthily. So Naman, difference between you and me is obviously you can tell that you eat healthy compared to me, but attaining a healthy diet comes with a variety of benefits. And one of the most important ones for me is a boost in your mood and energy levels, because you don't want to go to school like, groggy and in a bad mood, because then your teachers will pick up on it as well, and your actual productivity will go down as well. But also, it actually leads to a better overall brain function.
Yeah, and I think I've heard my teachers say 1,000 times having a healthy breakfast is so important, and that the fact that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, as it's early in the morning, and especially for school, you would need it. You need the energy for the first few lessons.
Yeah, you do hear that they say breakfast is the most important meal, and I actually agree with that, which is why I have a lot for breakfast. But yeah, diets containing vegetables, fruit, and other whole grain foods have been linked to a decrease in symptoms of tiredness and fatigue, which is a big thing. Another thing so I think we had a few when we spoke to our friends about this. We spoke about sleep patterns and how that has changed from the holiday to school. So what did they say, Numar?
Yeah, so a lot of my friends who are Muslims, the fact that they have to wake up for Fajr, that had to be changed because of school as well. Because normally they would, some would stay awake up until Fajr and then go to sleep. But now they would just wake up at Fajr and stay awake. So it's like a big shift in patterns. And just generally, there was a lot of people who were would just go sleep late and wake up at around 2 p.m. So the shift from 2 p.m. to 7 or 6 a.m. for school is really big.
Yeah, that is a big jump, and I know you and me, we definitely had enjoyed that freedom of being able to, because you and me, we're keen gamers, as many would say, but we could play at late nights and go to sleep at quite a late hour compared to what we could do before the summer holidays.
And also, it was just the fact that for schools now you have this strict time that you have to wake up, but during the holidays it was just whenever you're tired, when you're asleep, you can just go to sleep, wake up whenever you want, just have a nice day.
Yeah. And I imagine, I think I remember definitely my first day as well. It was hard for me to wake up at 7 o'clock, have a shower in the morning and eat breakfast and stuff. It's especially when I ate breakfast, my body just didn't want to take it in. It was just because I wasn't used to eating that early. But it's a good thing, because people say that waking up earlier and going to sleep earlier is a better thing. So another well-being tip is get plenty of sleep. A lack of sleep may leave you feeling tired or unfocused and even slightly overwhelmed. And again, like you said, teachers giving tips about breakfast, but you want to have at least 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So for me, the latest I'd go to sleep on a weekday is 11, and I'm waking up at 7:15. What about for you, Naman? What are your sleep times?
Yeah, so as of right now, 10 would be it would range from 10 to 12, but any later than that, it would just be too less of sleep, especially because I have a school day following that.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. And one of the things we've seen a lot of people in school as well, not naming any names, of course, but that you can tell that they haven't had ample sleep, and that might not be through the fault of their own. It could be due to other factors. Maybe there's a lot of noise outside or other people in the house, etc., etc. But one of the main things that our body needs is sleep, and so definitely don't let that sidetrack you, the lack of sleep. When you lack good sleep, your body finds it harder to keep stress at bay. And also, for better sleep and less distraction, turn off your technology. You have a lot of people, they have their phone charging right next to them, which is I do that. I'd admit that I have my phone charging right next to me when I sleep, but I make sure it's on silent. I make sure the screen's facing down, so I don't get distracted by it during the night. And you have a lot of people, they have their phone on vibrate, so whenever a notification comes in, no matter what the time, 4 a.m, they're waking up and they're having a look, or they're staying on their phone in bed, just watching videos again and again. And that's the bad thing, I guess, about social media platforms and other things like that. And on the complete other side of the street, let's say, you need to get plenty of sleep, but you also need to be active. So regular exercise is just walking, jogging, swimming and cycling. I know you, Naman, when school restarted, actually slightly before that as well, I think it was the end of August for you, started going to the gym, and your energy levels have improved a lot, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, like before year 11 time when I didn't used to go to gym, I was just like during the day I was just tired. But then, first of all, one thing about gym is that, or just exercise in general, is that you get tired, so that helps your sleeping pattern as well, so you can then sleep earlier, and it's just like helps you out mentally as well, that you're keeping yourself fit.
Yeah, and it gives you a routine. We're going to talk a little bit about a routine later, but yeah, keeping active, because it's proven, as you just said, energy levels, it proves to reduce symptoms of stress. That way, if you're, because A levels, it's a big jump from A levels, from GCSEs to A levels. So if you have a routine, it helps you, wake up, pray, if you're Muslim. So wake up, pray, shower, gym, come back, change, and then going to school, and then come back, and then you're studying, and then you're doing other things. And we're going to talk about actually filling your time and having a routine as well. But make a commitment, I'd say, to get at least 30 minutes of exercise a day to maintain clarity and focus. And this could be in many other areas. So another tip, now, Naman, you and me have been friends for a long, long time. But we need to make sure, not just us, but we need to tell everyone that you need to build a strong social support network, because reaching out to others can help you overcome feelings of isolation. And Naman, so what would you say your support network kind of consists of, like friends, family, and what sort of other people?
Yeah, so I have a few cousins I talk to regularly, but a lot of the time I just talk to my friends a lot. So say during the holidays, whenever I need to talk to someone, I would just always talk to them. So it just kept me like something that I could do, something that I could enjoy.
Yeah, they pushed you on and you pushed them on. It was a two-way thing. So as I said, your support network can include really anyone you want it to: friends, family members, neighbors, teachers, and anyone else you feel can help you solve a problem. And you need to look at the other side of this as well. If your support network or your group of friends includes someone quite negative, get that toxicity out of your life, because it's not going to help you. And also stay in touch with those in your support network and help them feel supported by being an active member of theirs. So you can't just, take. You got to give. And that's what Islam teaches us as well. Alhamdulillah. But yeah, if you have a strong support network, think about it this way. You and me, we're studying the same subjects, alhamdulillah. So if I'm struggling with something, let's say in maths, I know that if you're not struggling with it, I can come to you. But if you're struggling with it, you can come to me. And if we're both struggling with it, then there's a slight problem.
But like a two-way thing.
Yeah, we got to go to the teachers then. But you're right, just like that, just a two-way thing. Talking about staying active and having a support network. So would you say going to the gym is something you enjoy? It's like a hobby of yours?
First of all, it's keeping me fit, and trying to improve my physique and just my general well-being. And another thing is that the gym I go to, a lot of my friends go to as well, so I'm able to just spend time with them as well. So it's two birds with one stone.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and that's actually a really good phrase. So wherever you enjoy, whether you enjoy painting or biking, or for me, biking's a big one for me, because I just love. You start somewhere and it's an hour, you've done 5 miles, and you just actually more than that, 10 miles. And you're just riding, and it's really is quite fun. But also reading books. We know a lot of people that just they read, and it helps them almost escape reality for a bit, if you know what I mean. Or even just going out, because remember what I said about getting at least 30 minutes of exercise. If you want to go to the high street or you want to go to town, you just walk around. There's your 30 minutes. You're with friends. Sit down, have a meal if you want. That's my day out. I go somewhere, eat. And that's it. Day's done. But focus on a hobby or activity you enjoy, because doing so may help you hit the refresh button. Because Monday to Friday is a routine, but then Saturday, Sunday you have time to do whatever you want. But you've got to have a routine there. So for me, Monday to Friday, we're studying, obviously with you as well, and almost all of our friends. Saturday, I mostly try and take a relaxed day, but if I need to do certain things, they need to be done, whether that's helping out around the house, and or if I need to get some homework done, I need to get some homework done, or it could be doing a radio show like we are now.
You need to split your life between enjoyment and work, so you don't want to focus too much on one thing, so that you leave out on the other. So you want to keep up with your work and stuff, but also you want to stay happy, spend time with your friends, so you can enjoy yourself more.
Yeah, and I think we've had a message as well that me and Naman do 600 kg deadlifts at the gym. So there's your 30 minutes of activity right there. But yeah, engaging in hobbies as well. And yeah, as I said before, Saturdays is a relaxed day for me, and then Sundays I'm back on it. And then right at the end of Sunday, when I'm in bed, actually, I just pace myself for Monday. I'm like, we're starting again. And actually, I don't know about you, but school's actually exciting now, especially when there's a lot more independent working.
Yeah, and the change in subjects is like before, like GCSE levels, we had around 10, 12 different subjects we had to do.
Yeah, and you get to do what you want now.
Yeah, we just focus on 3 subjects.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there's one more tip I want to talk about. And so in the holidays, you and me, we were gaming every day, obviously for a limited amount of time, but we were gaming every day because it was something we enjoyed. But we made a promise to each other that we said we weren't going to play games Monday to Friday. So we were going to focus on studies and other stuff, and we were only going to play on the weekends. And we have, alhamdulillah, we've stuck true to that. But you need to make sure that you reward yourself. So recognizing your value and worth, reaching your goals, and accomplishing difficult tasks are just a few of the things that prove that you are doing a great job. You need to know that, let's say, I'll give an example. You and me, Naman, we just had a 25-mark essay that we had to give in for homework, which we had a week to do, or week and a half. And it was hard because it was our first ever 25-mark essay.
It was just something new, because before it was the largest of largest questions range from like 10 to 12 marks. We would just take like around 10 minutes. But however, this new 25-mark thing is just something just a bit new, because you have to write so much more about one specific thing.
Yeah, and alhamdulillah, we worked together on that. We gave each other points and arguments for it and arguments against. But that's just an example of, as soon as we finished that, we realised that it's not as hard as it looked. And the thing is, we gave it in on a Friday, and so we were looking forward to the weekend because we just done that huge piece of work. But yeah, make sure you acknowledge your accomplishments along the way, and reward yourself for all your hard work, because you don't want to keep working and working and working. And that was, I'll be honest, that was a problem I had in, I think it was from year 7 to year 9. I was working too hard. There were certain times when I was revising for things I didn't need to revise for, and doing homework too quickly. You need to have those certain gaps in days and in your week to relax.
Of course, revising is important. Say you've got upcoming tests, you would want to revise for it as much as possible. However, you don't want to overwork yourself.
Yeah, and before we go on, as I said before, we're going to talk a little bit about actual schoolwork. But before we go on to that, I'm going to play a track that I've played before on the show. It's Anta Salam by Maher Zain. And I really like this track because of the message behind it, but also the actual track by itself. I really like how it sounds. Have a listen to this.
There's something on my mind, on my mind. I just can't get it right, can't get it right. It doesn't go away, doesn't go away. Even though I try to ignore it, I just want peace of mind, I want peace of mind. I feel like breaking down time after time, and it keeps coming back, always coming back. Yeah, all my life, down it was a part of me. Day and night, I fight my insecurities, asking why am I, who am I just want some peace of mind. And nunca salam, wa minka salam, tabarakta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. And nunca salam, I need your peace. I still believe with hardship comes ease. Make the stress go away, go away. All my life, I know you've been guiding me. You're the one who knows my destiny. I'll be alright, I'm sure that you look after me. You know what's inside of me. And the السلام ومنك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام أنت السلام ومنك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. All my life, I know you've been guiding me. You're the one who knows my destiny. I'll be alright, I'm sure that you'll look after me. You know what's inside of me. All my life, I know you've been blessing me. You're the only one who knows my destiny. I'll be alright, I'm sure that you'll look after me. You know what's inside of me. And the salam ومنك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام أنت السلام ومنك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام.
That was Anta Salam by Maher Zain, and as I'm sure you know now, a really, really good track. Before we go to the break, I got about 30 seconds. We had a really nice message in. He said, yo guys, thank you so much for providing me entertainment while doing my history work. Long live Ali and Naman. Thanks very much for that. Good to know we're keeping entertained, because history, we know, is long. We got about 10 seconds to the break. When we come back, we'll be talking about carrying on with this topic, motivation, organisation, and make sure you're communicating with your teachers, making sure that you're studying as hard as you can. Inshallah, I'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम किरण है। कोर्ट कश्मीर ऑर्फन्स रिलीफ ट्रस्ट मेरा घर है। कोर्ट सिर्फ मेरा ही नहीं बल्कि मुझ जैसे सैकड़ों यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों का घर है। हम तमाम बच्चे अपने इस प्यारे घर में हंसी खुशी रहते हैं और तालीम भी हासिल करते हैं। हमारी तमाम ज़रूरियात ज़िंदगी को कोर्ट ही पूरा करता है और ये सब कुछ आपकी मदद से मुमकिन है। आपसे गुजारिश है कि अपने एहतियात, ज़कात और ज़कात कोर्ट में मौजूद यतीम बच्चों को देकर इनकी कफालत में हिस्सेदार बने। कोर्ट UK ऑफिस 0300123774 court.org.uk.
It doesn't take much to bring some difference. You give some change, which makes a change. Because nothing gets mileage like a charity. Just a little change turns into a chain. And before we know it, the results are massive. So give a little to make a big difference. For donations, call now. UKIM 0207 387 2157.
Looking to improve your living space? Plan your dream home with AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms. We design, manufacture and install your perfect kitchen or bedroom to your personal space and taste with clever storage utilising every inch. We pride ourselves on our exquisite attention to detail. Let AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms plan your perfectly tailored space fitted around you. We also offer bespoke services for understairs storage, TV units and feature walls, all designed and manufactured by us. Call us now on 01733 686 767 or visit abjkitchensandbedrooms.co.uk. Open to the trade and public. AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms, Unit 3 Brassey Close, Peterborough, PE1 2AZ. Plan your dream home with us. abjkitchensandbedrooms.co.uk.
Could you spare a few hours each month to provide support to people going through tough times? If so, Peterborough Samaritans are looking for volunteers who are empathetic and open-minded, and we'd love to hear from you. We run information sessions where you can find out more about what it means to volunteer for the Samaritans. If you're at least 18 years of age and would like to know more, please email volunteer@peterboroughsamaritans.org.
अब खुल गया है देसी रेस्टोरेंट, तो क्यों ना आज ही अपने घर वालों के लिए खाना ऑर्डर करें। हमारे पास फिश पकोड़ा, चिकन पकोड़ा, चरगा स्टीम चिकन, लेम और वेजिटेबल समोसा, बिरयानी, पिज्जा, फलूदा, जलेबी, गुलाब जामुन, समोसा चाट, फ्रेश चिकन और लेम हांडी, लाहौरी चना और बहुत कुछ। ये सब अब आपको मिले सिर्फ और सिर्फ देसी रेस्टोरेंट में। आज की स्पेशल ऑफर, निहारी और पाए एक नान और रोटी के साथ सिर्फ 6 पाउंड में। स्पेशल लंच टाइम ऑफर दिन 12 से 4 बजे तक। चिकन और लेम कड़ी 2 रोटी के साथ सिर्फ 6 पाउंड में। मिक्स वेजिटेबल कड़ी और तड़का दाल 2 रोटी के साथ 5 पाउंड में। तो ऑर्डर करें अभी देसी रेस्टोरेंट online.com पर और ऑनलाइन पेमेंट करें बिल्कुल सेफली और कॉल कर सकते हैं 01733555795। हमारे पास डिलीवरी भी मौजूद है और 10% डिस्काउंट के साथ आप खुद कलेक्ट भी कर सकते हैं। 298 लिंकन रोड, पीटरबरा, PE1 2ND। देसी रेस्टोरेंट, आपका अपना पसंदीदा और मयारी खाने अब पीटरबरा में।
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. Welcome back to What We Zed, a show for Generation Z, like me and like you. If you were with me before the break, we were joined by Naman Akhtar, a close friend and Year 12 student. We were discussing studying, relaxing and holidays, and we're going to carry on with that topic now about organisation and communication. So, Naman, what are your thoughts about motivation and why is it important?
So first of all, during the 2 lockdowns, a lot of people, including myself, lost motivation to do work. We got set tasks, but it's because the future was kind of uncertain. Are GCSEs going to be cancelled or not? Is there a point in revising? So that actually lost a lot of people, including me, in my motivation to do work. So as we slowly get back into our normal life, normal school life, then we should try motivating ourselves as much as possible, is because it's going to be different, especially for my year. We haven't done proper public exams in quite a long time.
Yeah, you're right, and alhamdulillah, we've got until end of year 13. But you're right, it was added pressure, and especially the live lessons. The teachers did the best they could, but obviously they weren't up par to the normal lessons we do. And before we get on to actual schoolwork tips, I'm going to repeat the quiz question one more time. I'm going to ask you, Nawan, for your answer. So the quiz question was, which surah contains Ayatul Kursi? So the options were A, Surah Ar-Rahman, B, Surah Baqarah, C, Surah Fatir, or D, Surah Yasin. I'll say that one more time. Which surah contains Ayatul Kursi? A, Surah Ar-Rahman, B, Surah Baqarah, C, Surah Fatir, or D, Surah Yasin. So Naman, you haven't seen this question before. This is the first time I'm asking you. So what do you think the answer is?
I think it's B, Surah Baqarah.
Okay, let's see what some of our listeners say. I'll be revealing the answer near the end of the show. I'm not going to tell you yet. If you want to change your answer, let me know. But I'll reveal the answer soon after the Islamic reminder. So back to the topic. So I think it's also important to talk about actual schoolwork, because learning how to get organised, staying focused and getting things done are must-have skills when it comes to managing your schoolwork. Beyond helping you get good grades, these skills help you in just about everything in life. The more you practice, the better you'll get at pretty much everything. So one of the big ones I'm going to talk about first is staying organised. So organise your stuff. So Naman, I know that you have loads of folders. I mean, you and me, we made sure that we got the right folders for our subject. So why is being organised really important?
So say it comes back to you've got a test coming up, or you need to revise for a certain topic. You would need your notes to be organised, so you can go directly to what you need, so you don't waste time.
Yeah, because being organised makes everything else easier. It helps you get to work faster without wasting time looking for certain things and looking for stuff. So for me, keep your assignments and class information organized by subject. Put them in binders, notebooks, or folders. So I know you and me, Naman, we have separate folders for our subjects in notebooks and binders. I think it's way easier to stay organized in A-levels because you only have 3 subjects compared to GCSEs.
And I've got these like a little drawer, I'd say. It's got 3 compartments, and then I'll just split them between the 3 subjects I do: maths, business, economics. And that helps out a lot.
Yeah, but I remember I imagine you did as well. Found it quite hard to stay organised in GCSEs because, as you said, we had quite a lot of subjects. But alhamdulillah, we pulled through and we're in A-levels now. Forget about GCSEs for now anyway. But if you find yourself stuffing loose papers in your bag or grabbing different notebooks for the same class, it's time to stop and reorganise. Clean out your backpack regularly. So we don't have backpacks anymore, where we have shoulder bags now. We're sophisticated. But clean it out regularly. Every time I when I wake up, I pack my bag. Actually, the night before I do it, I pack my bag. And then when I come back from school, I'm emptying my bag and checking my timetable for the next day, making sure I have all the right things. Decide where to keep assignments and homework that have been marked and things you want to hold on to, because there's certain things like the 25-mark essay, when we get it marked, we're going to want to keep it so we know where to improve and where we've done really well on. And get rid of things you no longer need to carry around. And as I said before, in year 7 to 9, I may have revised too much, but I also carried around a lot of things. I'm pretty sure you remember, my bag was always packed in year 9, and it was because I was just over prepared. In my opinion, there's no harm in being over prepared, but if it's gonna hinder you during school because you won't know where things are and you have too many things, just bring the not bare necessities, but if you have a notebook for your lesson and a revision guide and a pencil case for every lesson, then you're sorted, in my opinion. What do you think?
It's because every lesson you want to use the time as best as possible. You don't want to be wasting time just looking around your bag or where's this, where's that. So if you have your specific folders for each subject, which applies to anyone in any year, if you have your specific folders for each subject, you can just quickly take them out and get on with your work.
Yeah, and that brings me on to my next point about organisation, is organise your space. So Naman, do you have like a desk or a table at home where you do your work? Maybe you have your laptop as well, or your PC. Do you have a space where you can do that?
I've got this desk which is right next to the drawer I mentioned with all my books. So whenever I need to revise, I can just quickly take anything out. I know exactly where it is, because that just shows how organizing your stuff is important.
Yeah, and you do need a good workspace. I'm just the same as you. I do have a few things on my desk. Sometimes it gets quite cluttered, but I have the drawers and the cupboards next to me where I have most of my stuff. And what I sometimes try and do is any worksheets we get for homework, if they're actual solid copies, paper copies, I put them on my desk. And if they're on my left, they need to be done. And if I move them to the right, they're done. That's it. I can move on, if you know what I mean. So yeah, you need a good workspace, someplace quiet enough to focus. It's good to be tidy, but you want to have it somewhere quiet to focus. So you said yours was in your room, did you say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's best to work at a desk or table where you can spread out your work, relax, force to. And this could be hard for some people, but if anywhere works.
Yeah, because whenever you're doing your work, you want to be in an easy environment where you're comfortable. So you can do work to the best of your ability.
Yeah, and you want to have a place set, as I just said, you want to have a place set aside for just homework. And that way, when you sit down, your mind, now this is scientifically proven as well, when you're in a place that you've designated you need to do a certain thing, your mind knows you're there to do that thing, and it can help you focus more. So let's say right now, if I just saw this desk and I didn't have anything else, I would know that I'm at a radio show, I need to be doing radio, I need to be helping somehow underneath that category of radio. But if I'm at home, I see my desk and I see that pile of homework, then I know I've got stuff to do. It's as simple as that. And one last thing about organisation. So Naman, I introduced you to an app which was really good, but you need to make sure you organise your time. So why is that so important?
It's because you don't want to fall back on things. the app that you're talking about, it just lets you keep up with things as much as possible, so you don't miss. So like every once in a while, just check up. Do you have anything remaining that you still need to do?
Yeah, that's correct. And I know that you're part of quite a few different things, and so you need to know about what things need to be done when. You need to write down all of your assignments. Not knowing write down, it could be typed. It could be a little image, maybe a picture of the homework that reminds you. And you need to know when they're due.
Yeah.
That if homework, carry on.
Yeah, it's because sometimes like work that you're designated to do, it just slips out the back of your mind, and then you don't want to be that person who's just sat there on the deadline day, has absolutely no idea what's going on, what work's due, what you have to do.
Yeah. And a tip for me as well is that don't set the due date as the actual due date. Set it as the day before, because you don't want to be doing it on the day. So yeah, write down all your assignments and when they're due. You can use an actual planner. So for us, from year 7 to 11, school actually gave us planners that we could use them. I didn't actually use them that much, I'll be honest. But I used an app instead, which had my timetable in and had my tasks in, which helps a lot. But break big projects into parts as well.
Yeah, and I think one way you could get on with your work, like that you need to do before a deadline, is designate for like people in my year at least 1 hour a day where you could just sit down, do your work. Because then if you don't really have 1 hour that you do your work, you just be like, oh, I'll do it the next day, until you reach the deadline.
Yeah, you're putting it off. Yeah, that is a big bit. And as I just said, that you're part of quite a few big projects. So as I'm sure you already do, you need to break big projects into parts. So let's say you have I'm actually going to keep using this example. A 25-mark essay might seem as one homework, which it is. It's one piece of homework, but it's a big project as well. And obviously, you have to do multiple paragraphs. So what I do is I try and say, 2 days from now, I want to have half of it done, or something like that.
Yeah. It's best if you try split your larger projects into these smaller tasks that you can do. So like say, using the 25-mark essay as an example. So on one day you do at least one argument or one counter argument, and then slowly, as you get closer to due date, you'll be done.
Yeah, you're right about that. And note the dates when each part needs to be completed, and mark in your planner or your app when you can work on each part. Also mark the dates you have tests. We've got a few tests coming up as well on Friday as well. We need to start working on that. But make a note of when you'll study for them. Don't leave things until the last minute, because you'll only end up working twice as hard to do half as well. We know of people, again, we won't name names, but we know of people that the day before the test, they're studying like 4 hours in a row, trying to memorize everything. And then they're happy with their score. But if you did half the amount of studying daily, spread across 2 weeks or a month, or even just 1 week, you'd probably get double your marks.
Yeah, it's about like wasted potential. People who have potential like that, they could designate a small amount of time in their day, just rise a bit, and then just do that regularly for like a few weeks or even 1 week. Yeah, it would be just much better than revising the night or even in the morning before the test.
Yeah, and everyone has that potential to do that. There's no one that can't do it, and everyone can do it. And lastly, I want to enter other activities on your calendar as well, such as, so not just homework and tests, such as family trips and plans with friends and stuff. Half term's coming soon, so inshallah, you and me and some of the lads as well will be going to town and have a walk around. Definitely eat somewhere. But this helps you see ahead of time when, if you have certain things going on, it might get too busy to get all your work done. So you want to use your planner or your app to schedule what time you'll do your schoolwork on days you have other activities. I have a few more points to make about staying focused as well, because that's a big thing about staying focused at school, but also staying focused at home, because as we said, you need to organise your space, have a quiet space. But if you don't have that, then you need to have a look at other opportunities, and how, if there aren't any other opportunities, you got to stay focused and avoid distractions. Before I go on to that, I want to play one more track. This is I See the Fire by Muad featuring Ibrahim B. This track is, again, one of my personal favourites. I've played it before. Noman, let me know what you think of it as well. Have a listen to this.
We've really always been so different. It's never ever so simple, no. I'm trying to make it work with God's help, but I'm acting on impulse. Patience is the key. Asabru jamil, and you'll only see the doors open. I'm down on my knees, I'm begging you please, don't leave me here, just broken. Sometimes you gotta leave it all behind. Sometimes you gotta ignore all the signs. You hear the whispers, extremely hard not to listen. All the decisions you make are already written. You gotta see it clearly, so don't be blind, no. The choices that we make are truly how we define. I see the fire, I see it burn, and the flames getting stronger. I see the fire burning my eyes, and it makes me wonder. I see it burn through the darkness, the days. It's hard to define, cause I'm caught in a maze. I see the fire blazing. I see it burn, I see it burn. We're never gonna agree on everything, so I understand the difference. Even though their life is confined, still have got through all these hard times. Sometimes I'm gonna break, and I know it's not an option. No, it's for my own sake, to be patient when the storm comes. Many problems can drag your happiness to the bottom, but you're stronger than any nonsense or any monsters. You know the devil ain't gonna stop until it is settled. So don't forget that the level you're trying to reach is heaven. You gotta see it clearly, so don't be blind, no. The choices that we make are truly how we define. I see the fire, I see it burn, and the flames getting stronger. I see the fire burning my eyes, and it makes me wonder. I see it burn through the darkness of days. It's hard to define, cause I'm caught in a maze. I see the fire blazing. I see it burn, I see it burn. I don't look at options, man, but I will never give up, no. Never deal with the nonsense, no. Keep it real, keep my head up. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know it gets heavy sometimes, yeah. I don't look at the options, man, but the flame keeps it lit up. I see the fire, I see it burn, and the flames getting stronger. I see the fire burning my eyes, and it makes me wonder. I see it burn through the darkness of days. It's hard to define, cause I'm caught in a maze. I see the fire blazing. I see it burn, I see it burn.
That was I See the Fire by Mawad featuring Ibrahim B. And like I said, Nawad, that was a great track, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my first time listening to it, but I'll definitely take the name down.
Yeah, it was really good, and I like the lyrics as well. So we're going to talk about getting focused now as well. So we're going to talk about avoiding distractions. So when you multitask, you're less focused. So that means you're less likely to do well on a particular test or particular homework. So one thing I do, and I'm not sure if you do, let me know if you do, but make sure your devices are away from you. So sometimes I put them on the other side of the room. So then if I get a notification, it's a chore for me to get up, grab my phone just to see that message when I'm in the middle of something. So that tells my mind, it tells my mind that let's just leave it. Let's just carry on this work. So make sure your devices and tech are away, and only check them after your work is done. And that is kind of like a reward, when you say.
Yeah, and like personally for me, when I have my phone next to me, like I'm doing my work, halfway through it, I just check my phone. Then I accidentally go watch some videos, and there's another video, and I just distract myself so much. So, yeah, putting your phone away to the side a bit, getting your job done as quickly and as best as possible, and then using your getting back to your phone as a reward.
Yeah, that is definitely a reward, because then you can see that wave of notifications, and I can look at these now because I've finished my homework. We have had a text message in. It says, "MashaAllah, great show. Nice to have a show aimed at Gen Z. Jazakallah for listening as well." Back to this. So some people concentrate best when it's quiet. I'm definitely not one of those people. What about you, Naman? Do you concentrate best when it's quiet around you?
For me, if there are people talking around me, I could get work done. But if I have like a sharp deadline to meet, a quiet space, yeah, and just getting down to it, just doing my work as fast as possible. Yeah, would be best.
Yeah, I can get where you're coming from, but other people say that they study best if they listen to some sort of background music, or even if it's just listening to the Quran. We have a friend that listens to the Quran whenever he's doing work, and for me, I've got to have a little bit of background music in my ears when I'm working, because it kind of, I don't know if you get, it gives me a line to kind of work on, and when I hear that almost, I know that I can keep working. So if you study with other noises on, make sure it isn't going to sidetrack you into not focusing, because that's a problem. Which I've fallen into that trap before, as has some of my friends, and your friends as well, is that you're working and then a track you love comes on, and then it just sidetracks you into listening to it and again and choosing what song and stuff like that. Just, if you're going to do it, have a playlist on, put your device away, and just listen to it.
Yeah, just a calm playlist with nothing too special that would distract you.
Yeah, no, definitely calm, just like low music. But if you find yourself reading the same page over and over, or rewriting the same sentence over and over, it's a clue that the noise is a distraction, not a help. Another thing is take breaks. Taking a short break between assignments can help clear your mind, stay fresh, and stay focused. So, get up from...
Whenever I'm like stuck on a certain part, I would always just go to the next part, and then if there's something like I start understanding it, then I'll just go back to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So get from your desk, move, stretch, or walk around to clear your head, and allow your mind to absorb what you've just studied. Yeah, you're right. So there's been times when I've read a book in my revision guide, and not a book, so a page in my revision guide, and I don't understand what this means. So I'd get up, and I'd just sit somewhere else, and I'd go over it in my head. I wouldn't have the book with me, and then I'd go back like, yeah, this makes sense now, and I'd move on. Also, allow your mind to, as I said, absorb what you've just studied. So if you're going to take a break, make sure you're going over it in your head and again. Don't let the break move you away from your revision or your studying. Break time is when you can have a quick chat with someone as well, and maybe a snack or two or three or four or five or how many ever snacks you want.
How many you need.
However many you need. But yeah, just make sure you get back to your studies in a few minutes. I'd say max. Well, in school we have like a 20-minute break.
Yeah.
I'd say max you could have at home is 15 minutes. What do you say?
Yeah, it's because the thing is you don't want to do like in your break. So you start watching TV, you don't want to have it so it just takes up too much time. You want to, it's important having a break, but you want to get back to your work as well.
Yeah, you're right about that. And after you come back to the break, there's an important point about refocusing. If you find yourself getting distracted and thinking about other things, pull your attention back into study mode, and as soon as possible, remind yourself that now is the time to stay on task, and that is where having a space to work helps a lot. So in summary, I've got about 10 points, a quick checklist of things that can help you organise, focus, and get the work you need done. So make sure you do know your deadlines. If we have deadlines for homework, make sure you know.
Yeah, and the app we were talking about before, and that's just one way.
Yeah, that's just one.
Of course, there are a multitude of ways, different ways that you could. That could help yourself remind. It's just whatever you find that suits you best, just go with that.
Yeah, and also if you just want to write it down on a post-it note, homework due 3rd of October.
Yeah, or have like a little to-do list of...
Yeah, a little or planner or something. And also make sure you make a calendar of stages and final due dates. So if you have that calendar, then you pass a day and I've done that. Next day, what have I got to do? And that's kind of like a to-do list, but the good thing with the calendar is you can see like the whole month.
Yeah. And a lot of people for school-wise, they set these revision timetables. So like on this day they can do like, say for example, economics, or another day they can do maths. But I think it's important to be a bit more specific. So like, say you're going to do economics, what topic are you going to do? Or is there any specific thing you need to revise? Or do you have homework you need to do? Something like that.
Yeah, and you're right about that. And as I said before about social events, include them on your calendar as well. for time management. And also understand the assignment and the expectations, because if you don't understand it, how can you expect yourself to do the work?
Yeah, and that's another reason why you would want to do it earlier than the deadline. So, say you're doing the work before the night before, you haven't looked at it before since say it like a week ago. If you're doing it the night before and you see something that doesn't that you don't really understand, you can't really go ask your teacher the night before, or maybe even some of your friends who might be busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, and lastly, the last thing I want to say is don't do your homework late or revise late at night or in bed. And that is the point I want to end on. So just quickly moving on to the Islamic reminder, I'm going to talk about the importance of reading the Quran. So when you read the Quran, you get rewarded for every letter that you read. Not one surah, not one ayah, not even one word, but you'll be rewarded for each letter that is recited from the verses of the Quran. And Quran also calms the soul. Reciting the Quran is part of remembrance. When you do zikr, you will attain inner peace as mentioned in the Quran. And even if you stutter and you can't get the words right, it doesn't matter. For some of us, the Arabic language is a foreign language. So when you are a beginner, you tend to stutter and may find it difficult to read it fluently, even if you're experienced. But not understanding what you are reading is already frustrating enough. And it is even harder to practice to read in different languages and letters. But fear not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He'll reward you twice for the hard work of trying to read the verses of the Quran. And lastly, Quran is a source of guidance. As human beings, we constantly need someone to talk to and to share our problems. While making dua is one of the means to talk to Allah, you can also find answers while reading the Quran. Now, the moment that I think we've been waiting for, we haven't had any answers put in, but the moment we've all been waiting for, Naman, your answer to the quiz question was option B, Surah Baqarah, and that was the right answer. Surah Baqarah does contain Ayatul Kursi in it. For those of you who did get that at home, well done. And now I want to say that's a lot of food for thought. Thank you, Naman, thank you for joining me for What We Said, which is a show for Generation Z like me and like you. Jazakallah to you for listening to me and joining me this month. Inshallah, we'll be back next month. And also, have a great weekend. And make sure you stay tuned to Salam Radio. We've got quite a few shows coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Peterborough. Who said good quality fried and grilled chicken has to be expensive? At Sam's, we take pride in every piece of chicken that leaves our kitchen. Just one bite of our chicken or burgers is all it takes to realise we are the best. Visit us at our brand new place at 333 Lincoln Road, PE1.